Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The WBO Super Featherweight Championship of the world. Please welcome into the ring the challenger from Accra, Ghana, Joseph Laryea.
Well, he came here just a few months ago, Joseph Laryea, and he beat Paul Appleby. Big upset that night. He wasn't expected to win, but it earned him an unexpected shot at Ricky Burns' WBO Super Featherweight title. And he's come here once again to cause another upset. It will be an even bigger shock if he does beat Ricky Burns. All the talk beforehand has been of unification fights for Burns, or another shot at a world title at lightweight. Laryea determined to spoil the party. He looks very relaxed as he comes to the ring, to the inevitable boos. He proved against Appleby that he's an awkward fighter. He's got a good jab as well.
And he's got great music to come to the ring, and African beat is fantastic.
That's the voice of Colin Hart ringside. We'll add another world title fight to the hundreds you've seen, or thousands, Colin?
In 40 odd years, I've never kept score, but it's a lot. People suggest I've seen one fight too many.
And that was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Absolutely. What's interesting this week is the 40th anniversary of the first World Heavyweight Championship I covered in the United States. The first Ali Frazier fight at Madison Square Garden, where 2 people died in the arena that night from heart failure due to the excitement. I think everybody is pretty safe in here tonight.
Well, that was one of the fights, wasn't it? I don't quite know how we're going to get that this evening. I don't think Mr. Laryea is going to have a heart attack coming to the ring. He's taken a very long time about it. He's taken even longer now as he runs around the ring apron, waves to the crowd, milking it for as much as he can get. Still not in the ring.
Wow, you talk about bling. Need your dark shades on to look at his outfit.
You've got one of them in the cupboard at home, haven't you, Colin?
I think he got his in Cartiers.
Please welcome into the ring the WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the world from Cambridge in Scotland, Ricky Burns.
Well, here he comes, the champion, building up a popular following here in Glasgow. Always been a ticket seller. That's right back to his fight with Alex Arthur way back when. Only a 12-fight novice then, and he brought more than 1,000 fans.
He's a very unpretentious guy, you know. He's a shy man. He doesn't like the limelight.
Well, he says he's been embarrassed with all this talk of him becoming Scotland's greatest ever boxer. He gets tongue-tied when people come up to him in the street. He's letting his fists do the talking at the moment, Ricky Burns. And he beat the world #1, Roman Martinez, in Scotland in September to lift this title. It was a great fight, a classic fight, and he thoroughly deserved his victory. First defence against Andreas Evanson in December. That was more low-key. Burns made a good hash of that fight, won it on points very comfortably.
Although he did admit that he wasn't at his best that night, but of course he was boxing an elusive opponent. I think this guy he's got tonight, Laryea, he's awkward style. He's very tall, got a good jab, and He's a quick mover, and he may pose Burns some problems early on. At least we hope that this fight will be competitive for a few rounds.
We're about to go to our MC Mark Burdiss for our introductions, and we have Davey Hegarty with a rendition of Flower of Scotland as well. Almost a Braehead tradition here, dating back to the days when Scott Harrison would defend his title in this arena. Ricky Burns has taken over that mantle now. And the arena's filled out as well in the last 5 minutes or so. A few people in the bars. WBO rules in play this evening. So if there is an injury, I'll go to the cards after 4 rounds. Some great champions, of course, at Super Feather, including Azuma Nelson, an inspiration for Joseph Laryea. Floyd Mayweather held a version of the Super Featherweight title for 4 years. Oscar De La Hoya before him. Some great past champions there. Ricky Burns looking to make his reign as a WBO Super Featherweight belt holder, a long one. Trainer Billy Nelson says that he's maybe only got 1 or 2 fights left in him at Super Feather before he has to go up to lightweight. It's a tall man, Ricky Burns, 5'10". You see why making the weight maybe a bit of a struggle.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Hegarty will now sing Flower of Scotland.
Come on, Braehead, let's hear it from Ricky. Oh, Flower of Scotland, when we will receive your light again, that fought and died for, you leave the peril and then I stood against him. But Edward's army, and sent him homewards to think again. Those days are past now, and in the past they must remain. But we can still rise now and be a nation again and stand against him. But Edward's army and sent him homewards to think again. Good luck, Ricky.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren, in association with Frank Warren TV, proudly presents the main event of the evening. 12 3-minute rounds for the WBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Live and exclusive on Sky Sports HD from the Braehead Arena here in Glasgow. Your officials are appointed by the World Boxing Organisation and the British Boxing Board of Control. And your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Eduardo Claudio of the USA, from Spain Mr. Manuel Maritza, and from Italy Mr. Matteo Montella de Arola. Your WBO supervisor is former world featherweight champion Mr. Koko Kovac of Hungary. Your British Boxing Board Control steward in charge this evening is Bernard Connolly. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Terry O'Connor of Birmingham. Your time grip the bell is Jim Kirkwood. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, in the red corner, with a record of 14 wins from 18 contests, stone, 2 pounds, 4 ounces. Tonight he makes the first challenge for a World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Accra, Ghana, the reigning WBO Intercontinental Champion and the challenger for the title, Laryea. And across the ring in the blue corner stands the World Champion, wearing the black shorts, weighing 9 stone, 3 pounds and 8 ounces. He enters the ring with 30 wins from 33 contests, with 7 of those wins coming by stoppage. Tonight, he makes the second defence of the title. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing Scotland's very own reigning WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the world, from Cambridge, Ricky Burns. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
One side break and one straight away. Best of luck to both of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the WBO Super Featherweight Championship of the world.
So here we go, just seconds away from Ricky Burns, his second defence of this WBO Super Featherweight title, and he's straight on the attack here. 4 or 5 unanswered punches. Looked fired up during the introductions, Ricky Burns. Not had a stoppage as a world champion yet. 2 points wins, maybe tonight's the night for an early one. As for a body shot. Usually finds himself punching down on opponents, Ricky Burns. Tonight meets a man who on paper at least is an inch taller than him. Nothing between the two fighters. Already the crowd trying to lift Burns here. A popular figure. Making good use of that jab. It was the weapon that was so effective against Paul Appleby. Bringing Colin Hart, an explosive start, but a quick one.
Yes, and Laryea is more or less adopting exactly the same tactics as he did against Appleby. He's using that long left jab of his, and he's not easy to nail. He's crouching, in fact, against Burns, which makes him more difficult target.
Problem for Laryea is though that Burns is that bit quicker than Appleby, isn't he?
Oh, he's a much better fighter than Appleby.
Almost growing into this world champion status. That's good from Laryea though.
Yeah, I mean, I think he may surprise Burns in the opening rounds. I tell you, he's boxing with great confidence, Laryea.
I guess that win over Appleby was a surprising one for many people, but it really boosted his confidence. He's cut a confident figure all week, really. The atmosphere, which was flat for most of the undercard, has suddenly come alive.
Well, at least this is competitive. I mean, he's giving Burns plenty to think about in there, Laryea.
He's thrusting out of that jab. He's on the front foot as well. Taking the fight to Burns. Oh, good shot that from Laryea. Just
he has got a good jab.
Caught Burns a bit flat-footed there, and he's taken over the centre of the ring here as well, the challenger. And to impose himself on the fight in this opening round. It was a good start from Burns, but slowly Laryea's come back into it.
Well, I thought the Ghanaian won that round. in the end. It was pretty close. Some people would probably give that even, which I never do.
There wasn't much in it, was there, Colin?
No, as you say, Burns got off to a very good early start in the round, but Laryea came right back at him and scoring with that left jab. He's no mug. Well, I think his corner realised that Laryea can be dangerous and a dangerous opponent, and not one who's going to fold quickly.
It's a slight delay there as Laryea's corner told to get rid of some water.
Laryea landed a wild right swing. He swings away at Burns.
This is good from the Ghanaian here at the start of the second round. Back comes Burns though. That's better now. Just catches Laryea maybe a bit off balance. Left hand to the top of the head. Back comes the Ghanaian though.
Amazingly, Laryea seems as if he wants to wage a war against Burns. Instead of using his boxing, he looks like he wants to have a fight.
He's really taken it to Burns in this second round.
Well, of course, Laryea's got absolutely nothing to lose here tonight.
I think if you'd have told him 3 months ago, Colin, that he'd get a world title shot, he'd have bitten your hand off. He really could, but I mean, if he wins tonight, be a life changer for him. Good body shot that from Burns. Just needs to get control here, Ricky Burns.
A good left hook to the body from Burns.
That might be the key actually, to try and slow Laryea down a little bit. Not been as good in the last 30 seconds or so as he was for the opening exchanges in this second round. Burns is being drawn into a bit of a scrap here. That's how he boxed best against Martinez though when he won this title. Laryea just told off there for trapping Burns in a bit of a headlock. Not always been the easiest on the eye, Ricky Burns. Good body shot though.
Yeah, that was a good right hand to the body. Yeah, that was a better round for Ricky Burns. I mean, it'll take a few rounds to work this guy out. As I say, he is awkward. Strange style, you know.
Very kind of African style, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course, he's crouching as well.
What did we talk about? Okay? Are you listening?
But
Spit that out. Have a rinse first. Now take your drink. Your drink, Phil. Okay.
From what we saw against Appleby, he won't run out of steam.
No.
Unless the body shots slow him down. But he's a very fit kid.
So here's the best of the action from the second round. A good shot of that from Burns to the top of the head, right hand.
Ricky. Straight right hand. Over his left. That's it.
A bit more of that wrestling that we saw in the towards the end of the second round. Laryea gets another ticking off from the referee, Terry O'Connor. Left hook from Burns.
Use that right hand, Ricky.
Here comes Laryea though, now he holds on.
Straight right hand. Right over the top, Ricky.
He got caught with a right. Laryea planted a right on his face. But Ricky is now putting some combinations together.
Yeah, that was a nice three-punch combination to both head and body there. Crowd liked it as well.
And one presumes Laryea didn't.
No. Interesting, every time he gets in close now, Laryea is just trying to hold on.
Well, as I say, once Burns works him out, he should take control. But his long arms wrap themselves around Burns when they get close. And Laryea is very wild with some of those swings of his, which he misses most of them. But he's not a big puncher. That's one good thing in the Burns' favour.
Good uppercut on the inside there from Burns as both boxers exchange punches now. Just matching each other blow for blow at the moment. Burns maybe has got the edge in this third round. Been a good fight so far.
Plenty of action.
Exceeding expectations as well.
And at least Laryea hasn't come just for the payday. He believes he can win this fight.
I guess if he loses honourably, might put him in the shot window for another decent-ish fight, another decent payday. Imagine the money he's earning tonight will go a long way in Ghana.
Another good round by Burns.
You're getting the guy on the body. Don't be content with getting 2 shots off. Get 3s and 4s and 5s off, okay? Okay, pal?
You can hear Nelson telling him he wants him to use more combination punches.
Yeah, up his output, I think.
He said, you know, we were saying how good he looked with 3-punch combination. And Nelson obviously is not satisfied. He wants to see a 5-punch combination.
A bit more frenetic in Laryea's corner. See the punches thrown. Both guys with just 10 punches between them. Burns the more accurate though. There's some of that accuracy from that third round. The crowd liking what they're seeing here at the start of the fourth. There's not much between these two guys at the moment. Good stuff here from Laryea.
Box him, Ricky! Box him!
Burns puts in a body shot. Laryea felt that one.
Straight right hand, Ricky!
Long right from Burns. He makes it work hard, isn't he, Colin?
Yeah, because he never seems to take a backward step or take a breather. He keeps going all the time, throwing leather. But Burns is landing more punches than Laryea. which means he's winning the round.
Some blood from somewhere as well, I think. It just keeps on coming at the moment. That was a good shot there, right hand. Some people in the crowd behind us screaming at Burns to try and box more. Been drawn into a bit of a war here. Not much evidence of the jab so far. At least not in this round. Another fairly close round. I think Burns is just edging it, isn't he, Colin?
Yes, he is for me, because although he's moving forward, Laryea, he's not really landing any effective punches.
Just making Burns work very hard. I wonder if the pace is going to drop in the second half of the fight as the bell goes for the end of the fourth. See how Colin's got it on his scorecard.
Well, I've got him 3 rounds to 1 up. Burns, that is. But that doesn't mean this is one-sided by any means, because Laryea keeps after him, non-stop aggression.
You give them too much of the centre ring there. Jab, get out of the body.
Dean Powell doing some work to the right eye of Ricky Burns there.
You want to go close and you don't need to. You're beating them for outside and you want to get in close.
There's a little bit of blood around. I don't know if it was from the eye.
Ones and twos. Okay. See if you're inside.
You can see in the slow motion that Laryea landed a very good right uppercut flush on Burns' chin. And Ricky didn't even flicker.
He's got a good chin, I think, Ricky Burns. Carl Johansson had him on the floor a couple of times, but he's never been stopped. And of course, Roman Martinez had him down in the first round of that world title fight in September. Burns rallied to win on points. Good right hand that from Burns. He's got Laryea backed up. Back comes the Ghanaian though. Both guys look in great shape, don't they, Colin?
Oh yes, they're very fit men. Because the pace is quite high level. It hasn't slackened much from the opening since they started.
Good round though this for Burns. I sense he's just beginning to get on top.
Yeah, he's boxing well. I think maybe Laryea has slowed down a bit. Not much, but he's slowed down from what from how he started.
Yeah, maybe Burns is just beginning to work him out as well.
Yeah, well, I knew it would take a few rounds. I mean, there's not much variety with Laryea. He does the same thing all the time.
Wonder if Burns is just beginning to establish a little bridgehead here. Just some of the snap and aggression gone from Laryea, who now smiles at Burns. Good combination there from Burns. Left hand to the body, then the head.
He's beginning to find a target more often now, Burns.
He is. Much accuracy from the challenger now, either. Burns' best round of the fight.
Absolutely, completely outboxed Laryea in that round. And from what we've seen so far, he should now storm ahead and win this fight comfortably. It doesn't look like he's going to stop Laryea at the moment, so it looks like we're headed for 12 rounds. But of course, it's not even halfway yet, so anything can happen.
Here's the best of the action from the 5th round. There's that little double left to body and head. The referee, Terry O'Connor, wants his face wiped here.
Too much Vaseline on the face.
Yeah, the corner a bit slow. Didn't really understand. I don't think what was the problem.
Couldn't understand O'Connor's Brummy accent.
Good right hand from Burns. Reading Laryea quite well now.
Yeah, he's beginning to catch him as he comes onto him. And that left hook to the body, followed upstairs quickly to the head, is paying off. Whew. Slung a left hook there that they just managed to sway out of distance.
Good double jab that from Burns as well, and then a right hand over the top. Just beginning to take a bit of control here. Certainly tough and durable, Laryea. A bit crude as well, though. And the quality is coming from Burns at the moment. Another ticking off the challenger. It's time for use of the elbow, I think.
Forearm.
There's been at least one or two every round.
It's unsettling for a fighter to have the referee constantly on your back.
We're just coming up to the halfway stage here, end of the 6th round. And the first strains of Flower of Scotland go up in the crowd. You can sense that their man's ahead. I don't know how the 3 judges are scoring at ringside, but
I've got him streets ahead. Burns.
He looks like a comfortable winner at the moment, Ricky Burns.
He's getting tired. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you feel him getting tired?
Keep your eyes.
So when he's tired, what did we say today? We can pick up the pace. He can't. You can pick up the pace, can't you? Yeah. Look at me. You can pick up the pace.
Listen, he ain't Roman Martinez, is he, son?
Burns almost double the amount of punches landed during the fight. A lot more body shots as well. Burns' corner were saying, can you not feel Laryea getting tired? He's given a pretty decent account of himself in the opening 6 rounds. It is the champion who's well on course at the moment to hold on to this WBO super featherweight title. Set up a possible unification fight in the summer. Now Burns. The crowd really like this.
Well, Nelson, his trainer, called for him to step up the pace, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's saying, you know, you can increase the work rate, and your opponent can't. And I think he's probably got it dead right. But Laryea is still trying hard. But
a good shot that from Burns, right hand.
Burns is beating him to the punch all the time now.
Slowly, 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 this fight is swinging ever more to Ricky Burns. A little anxious glance at his corner there, Joseph Laryea.
Well, he has no variety. He does the same thing all the time, and of course that's not very difficult for Burns to read.
Oh, good left hand from Burns. First time in the fight that he's really got through.
Yeah, he's right on top again in this round. He's now in complete control of the fight, Burns.
Laryea is just beginning to unravel a little bit here.
And Laryea looks really ragged now. I think any confidence he had early on is evaporating.
Sense here, if Burns really does step on the gas in the next couple of rounds, he could force a stoppage.
No, Laryea's legs haven't buckled yet.
No, he just had that one little wobble in this round. Larry's shaking his head here, Colin. I think he might want to quit.
He's having a row with his corner. I don't know why.
I think it's something to do with his right hand. He's now having a row with his manager as well, I think.
O'Connor's watching the situation from the neutral corner.
One more round, says his trainer. I think it is something to do with that right hand.
Well, he's waving it about.
No, the trainer says it's all over. And Burns has stopped him.
Well, he stopped himself, really, didn't he?
Almost certainly because of an injury, but it means that Ricky Burns retains this super featherweight title of his, and possibly sets him up for an even bigger fight in the summer. He was well on top when the stoppage came, wasn't he, Colin?
He was, but you're right, he's complaining about something's wrong with his right hand. Well, I hate to say this, but if you're in for a world title fight, then you use the one hand you've got left. You know, I mean, the great fighters, I've seen them go on with broken jaws, let alone broken hands.
Well, his trainer was virtually begging him to carry on, suggested that he give it one more round, but as soon as he went back to the corner, Laryea wasn't interested. He had a row with his corner man, a row with his management as well, and it was obvious that if he didn't quit, then he was going to quit in a round or two anyway.
Yeah.
He didn't fancy it, did he, Colin?
No. Well, what had happened, I suppose, he'd given his best. It wasn't working anymore. He was being beaten to the punch, and he realised he was had another 6 rounds probably of a tousing, so he wanted out of there. You know, it's like that fight we saw Bradley and
Alexander.
When Alexander had the opportunity of continuing, but told the doctor he wanted out with a cut eye. They don't make them like they used to, I'm afraid. There are fighters I know, like people like Carmen Basilio and Wally Swift and all those guys. I saw Wally Swift fight 8 rounds with a broken jaw.
Joseph Laryea's corner have retired him due to a damaged hand. The winner, and still the WBO World Super Featherweight Champion,